My children, the time granted by grace and mercy is silently drawing to a close, and heaven, moved by infinite love, sends an urgent warning to humanity. Brothers and sisters, we stand before a decisive threshold in history, a point of no return where the human heart is called to choose God again before it is too late. The signs are before us, clearer than ever, and the urgency of this call can no longer be ignored. A heavenly message has been entrusted to humanity, full of tenderness, but also of a solemn warning. For the moment of preparation does not belong to tomorrow, it belongs to now. The days of mercy pass quickly, and the world needs to awaken to what is approaching. The Virgin Mary revealed the coming of a darkness that will profoundly mark humanity, not as a metaphor, but as a real event that will transform the way we live, believe, and relate to God. On sacred ground, Mary shared a prophecy that demands not only reflection, but an immediate response from the heart, for it is not merely a matter of consolation, but a warning that echoes through the heavens. The announced darkness will not only be visible to the eyes, it will touch the soul, profoundly affecting the material and spiritual world. It will not be a simple energy collapse, but a time of purification permitted by God to shake consciences and restore what has been corrupted. This event is part of a greater divine design, an unprecedented purification process that will test the faith of all who inhabit the earth and reveal where each heart truly rests. Even in this scenario, we are not abandoned, for the Immaculate Heart of Mary presents itself as a safe refuge and protection against the attacks of evil that will intensify in these days. Our Mother will remain by our side, offering shelter, guidance, and defense, her heart being a beacon lit in the midst of darkness, guiding the faithful through the trials to come. Dense darkness will cover the earth, and contact with the outside world will be interrupted, establishing not only the absence of light, but a profound silence that will lead each soul to confront its own faith and its bond with God. During this time, a miraculous sacramental will be revealed as a sign of divine mercy, destined to protect homes and families from the spiritual chaos that will try to take hold, becoming a shield of hope amidst despair. God, in His goodness, not only warns but also grants the necessary means for the protection of His children. Therefore, this message should not be received passively, but with unity, prayer, and commitment. We are called to walk as a community, sharing intentions, strengthening one another, and spreading this message so that no heart remains unprepared. Our prayers have power, and united they become even more powerful, creating a spiritual wall against the trials that are approaching. As we move forward in this time of urgency and revelation, let us remain steadfast in prayer and confident in God's guidance. For although the path is narrow and challenging, with the protection of the Virgin Mary and a living faith, we will be able to cross the darkness with courage, hope, and faithfulness. Brothers and sisters, heaven has already spoken and the call is unequivocal. Prepare yourselves, for darkness is approaching, and this is the time to seek profound spiritual preparation, renewing your commitment to God, casting aside indifference and awakening to the seriousness of the moment. For what is to come will test every soul and reveal the true light that dwells in our hearts. My beloved children, I approach you with a motherly heart, full of zeal and care, to awaken your consciences and touch your souls. I do not speak to cast fear upon you, but to call you to inner vigilance. For many walk distracted, far from the light, and the world, little by little, has become confused, cold, and spiritually obscured. There is a darkness that is born not only from the absence of the light of the heavens or the cities, but from the absence of God in hearts. This darkness grows when man forgets to pray, when he abandons love, when he chooses pride, violence, and indifference. Therefore I warn you, times will come when many will feel as if everything has been extinguished, as if there is no direction, no hope. It will be the test of a people who have lost their way from their Creator. My children, when I speak to you of closing doors and windows, understand that it is not only the material home that needs to be protected, but above all the home of the soul. Close the doors to sin, to bad influences, to words that hurt, and to the paths that lead you away from my Son Jesus. Seal your homes with faith, with trust, and with sincere surrender to God. Holy water, when used with true faith, reminds you of your baptism and the covenant you made with the Lord. The miraculous medal reminds you that you are kept under my mantle, not out of superstition, but because or love and trusting surrender. The simple plants of creation, placed in your homes as a sign of protection, remind you that God also acts in simplicity and obedience. But listen well, my children. None of this will have value if your hearts remain closed. True protection is born from sincere prayer, repentance, forgiveness granted, and the daily decision to walk in the light. Do not be deceived into thinking that objects alone save. It is living faith, united with the grace of God, that sustains you in difficult days. Come to me, my dear children. Take refuge in my maternal heart. I teach you to trust, to hope, and to remain steadfast even when everything seems dark. Darkness will not have the last word, for the light of Christ never goes out. Remain with him, and even in times of trial, your homes and your souls will remain at peace. I do not come to confuse your minds, but to awaken your souls. For many sleep spiritually while the signs become ever clearer. The world rushes by, builds, speaks loudly, but has forgotten to listen to the voice of God that whispers within. There is a great inner disorder that precedes all outer darkness. When I speak to you of a blackout, understand that it begins first in the spirit. Humanity has turned off the light of conscience, has rejected the teachings of love, humility, and respect for life. Thus, many walk like blind people even in broad daylight, for they have lost the direction that comes from above. My children, when darkness touches the world, many will feel fear, despair, and loneliness, because they trusted only in human securities and forgot God. That is why I call you now, before the confusion becomes greater. Do not wait for chaos to seek inner order. Do not wait for pain to seek conversion. There is still time to return. There is still time to align your lives with the Father's will. Take care of your homes, for they are small sanctuaries where faith must be preserved. Close your doors and windows not only as an outward gesture, but as a firm decision not to allow evil, violence, impurity, and division to enter your homes. May your homes be places of inner silence, of respect, of words that build up and do not destroy. Holy water reminds you that you are children of God and that you belong to Him. Use it consciously, remembering that you have been called to a new life, far from sin and close to grace. The miraculous medal is a sign of my maternal presence, a reminder that you are never alone, even when everything around you seems to fail. It calls you to trust, to purity of intention, and to sincere surrender. God's creation also participates in His protection. The plants, simple and humble, remind you that the Lord acts through what is small in the eyes of the world. Placing them in your homes as a sign of protection should be accompanied by an obedient and vigilant heart, for nothing replaces living faith and the decision to walk in truth. But listen to me carefully, my children. The greatest danger is not in the outer darkness, but in the heart that closes itself, that hardens, that refuses to change. A home may be protected by visible signs, but if there is hatred, pride, vices, and unforgiveness, peace will not remain. Therefore, I ask you, bring order to your spiritual life, reconcile yourselves, abandon the paths of destruction, and return to the path that leads you to life. I see many choosing shortcuts that lead to emptiness, believing in false promises of quick happiness. These paths seem easy, but they end in suffering and loss. My mother's heart weeps for these children, for I know they were created for much more, to live in light, in truth, and in love. Come to me, my children, especially in moments when everything seems dark. In my heart there is shelter, there is comfort, and there is direction. I always lead you to Jesus, the true light that no darkness can overcome. Remain steadfast. Do not let yourselves be carried away by panic, nor by the voices that spread fear. Trust in God will be your strength when the structures of the world seem fragile. Prepare yourselves, not with despair, but with faith. Vigilance is not fear, it is awareness. Inner silence is not escape, it is wisdom. Whoever remains in God will cross any night without losing hope. I am with you, walking beside you, sustaining you with maternal love, until the light shines fully again in your hearts. My beloved children, I approach you with the tenderness of a mother and with the firmness of one who wishes to save her children from error and confusion. Faced with the evil that spreads, I do not speak to frighten you, but to strengthen you. It is time to lift your spirits, to strengthen your faith, and to understand that only a heart united to God remains standing when everything around seems to crumble. Strengthen your faith, my children, because it has been weakened by the distractions of the world, by false securities, and by the illusion that man can walk alone. Many have stopped praying, stopped trusting, stopped seeking the presence of God in the silence of their hearts. Thus, they became vulnerable, fragile, easily shaken by the approaching evil. I, your mother, do not come to condemn you, but to transform you. When you allow me to enter your lives, I lead you to inner change. I help you abandon fear, overcome weakness, and become stronger in faith. A child who allows himself to be molded by grace is not easily defeated, even when the night seems long. Understand, my children, the blackout knocking at the world's door is not merely material. It reveals a humanity that has turned away from the light, that has rejected the teachings of love, humility, and obedience to God. It is the reflection of hearts that have disconnected themselves from the truth. Therefore, before the lights go out outside, many already live in darkness within. Do not allow this darkness to enter your souls. Remain vigilant. Rekindle the flame of faith through trust, sincere conversion, and the constant search for God. A heart that prays, that trusts, and that surrenders will never be completely in the dark, even in times of trial. My children, do not let yourselves be overcome by panic. Fear paralyzes, confuses, and distances us from the divine presence. Faith, on the contrary, strengthens, clarifies, and sustains. Whoever remains united to God crosses any storm without losing there is hope. That is why I call you now with insistence and love. Return to the essential, return to prayer, return to the simplicity of trust in God. I am with you at every moment. I walk beside you, I intercede for you, and I enfold you with my mantle when everything seems uncertain. Let yourselves be guided, let yourselves be transformed. A child who trusts in his mother learns to remain firm even when the world trembles. Understand, my beloved, there is still time. Time to change, time to strengthen faith, time to choose the light. Do not harden your hearts. Hear this call and remain in grace. Night may fall, but those who walk with God will never walk alone. Faced with the evil that rises up and silently infiltrates the world, I call you urgently and with love. Strengthen your faith, for only it will sustain you when human structures fail. Many of you have lived tired, burdened, confused, because you have tried to walk supported only by your own strength. You have forgotten that you are fragile and that you need God to remain standing. Faith is not an ornament for tranquil moments, but a foundation for difficult times. When it weakens, the heart becomes vulnerable, and evil finds space to act. Your mother, was given to you to help you in your inner transformation. I am not only consolation, I am also the path that leads to change. When you allow me to enter your lives, I teach you to persevere, to endure pain without losing hope, to face darkness without abandoning the light. I help you to be stronger, not through hardness of heart, but through firmness of faith. Understand, my children, that the world is going through a time of great spiritual blindness. The approaching blackout is not limited to the lack of external light. It reflects a humanity that has become disconnected from the truth, that has rejected God, that has despised sacred values. Many already live in darkness, even surrounded by light, because they have lost the meaning of life and the holy fear of God. This blackout knocks at the door as a warning, as a call to conversion. It reveals how far man has strayed from the source of true light. Therefore, I ask you, do not be like those who only awaken when everything is already in ruins. Awaken now while you can still choose, while you can still change the course of your life. Strengthen your faith in silence, vigilance, and trust. Do not allow the noise of the world to drown out the voice of God in your heart. Faith grows when it is nourished by obedience, humility, and the sincere search for truth. A heart firm in God does not despair, does not get lost, does not surrender to fear. My children, evil tries to weaken you by making you believe that you are alone, that there is no way out, that all is lost. This is a lie. You are never alone. I walk with you, I intercede for you, and I sustain you when your strength seems to be exhausted. A child who trusts in their mother learns to cross the night without losing hope of the dawn. Prepare yourselves inwardly. Put your spiritual life in order. Turn away from sin, pride, indifference, and violence. Reconcile yourselves. Forgive. Love more. A heart at peace is a lit lamp that no darkness can extinguish. Do not let yourselves be overcome by panic in the face of what is to come. Fear does not come from God. Faith, however, comes from above and strengthens you. Those who remain united to God may feel the weight of the night, but will not lose their way. Even when everything seems uncertain, divine grace will guide you. Listen to me, my children. There is still time. Time to strengthen your faith, time to change your paths, time to choose the light. Do not harden your hearts. Receive this call as proof of love, not as a threat. I will not abandon you. I will not turn away. I will not cease to intercede for you. Remain firm, vigilant, and confident. Darkness may draw near, but the light of God will never be overcome. Walk with me, and I will lead you safely to my Son, the eternal light that never fades. My beloved children, come to me, my children, with confidence and open hearts. A mother never abandons her children, especially when she sees them surrounded by danger, confusion, and uncertainty. I am with you, attentive to every step, welcoming your pain and your fears, tenderly guiding you on the path that leads to life. He who is the source of all protection watches over you, even when you do not perceive it. God does not turn away, does not get distracted, does not fail. When you take refuge under his gaze and allow yourselves to be guided, no force of evil can dominate you. And in moments when chaos seems to advance, heaven does not remain silent. Saint Michael the Archangel rises as a defender, a faithful guardian against all disorder, all lies, and all darkness that attempts to destroy what is sacred. But listen to me carefully, my children. This protection is not granted so that you may live carefree or indifferent lives. It is offered to those who wish to remain in the light, who strive not to be lost, who recognize their fragility and seek help from on high. Heaven acts, but it expects from you a vigilant heart, willing to change. Humanity, unfortunately, has been walking towards perdition because it has chosen to distance itself from God. Many reject the truth, despise life, trivialize evil, and call progress that which destroys the soul. The chaos you see does not arise from nothing. It is born from disordered hearts, from wrong choices repeated over time, from an abandoned and forgotten faith. I see confused peoples, divided families, hardened hearts. I see children who no longer know how to distinguish good from evil because they have lost the reference point of truth. This is the greatest danger, when humanity becomes accustomed to darkness and begins to call it normal. That is how chaos slowly takes hold, almost imperceptibly. That is why I call upon you urgently and with love. Return. Return to the simplicity of faith, to the humility of heart, to respect for life and for the will of God. Do not follow the crowd when it walks towards the abyss. Do not you are afraid of being different, of swimming against the current, of choosing the narrow path that leads to true peace. When you take refuge in me, I always lead you closer to God. I teach you to trust, to persevere, and not to give in to despair. Saint Michael fights the forces of evil, but you need to fight within yourselves everything that opens doors to disorder. Pride, hatred, violence, indifference, and lack of love. My children, do not deceive yourselves. The world will not be healed by words or empty promises alone. It needs transformed hearts, souls that choose the light even when darkness seems easier. Each of you is called to be a small point of light amidst the chaos. Remain steadfast. Do not let yourselves be dragged down by the perdition that spreads. I am with you, covering you with my maternal mantle, guiding you with patience, sustaining you when your strength fails. Those who remain with God are not lost. even in times of confusion. I await you as a mother who never abandons me, as a mother who knows every tear shed in silence and every fear you keep in the deepest part of your soul. Do not approach with fear, for my heart is open to welcome, console, and lead you back to the path of life. He who is the Lord of all things protects you, even when the world seems out of control. God does not lose control of history, even though men have lost fear, respect, and love. When everything seems unstable, when chaos arises and order crumbles, heaven remains watchful. Nothing escapes the Father's gaze. Saint Michael the Archangel rises as a defender against all forces of evil, against all lies that confuse minds, and against all violence that attempts to destroy what is sacred. He combats what you do not see, protects you in spiritual battles, and safeguards those who seek to remain in the truth. But remember, my children, this protection is strengthened when your hearts choose the light and consciously reject evil. However, I must speak to you with a mother's sincerity. Humanity is dangerously heading towards perdition and chaos, not because God has abandoned it, but because many have abandoned God. Man has rejected the truth, has despised life, has exalted pride and silenced conscience. Thus, disorder grows, conflicts increase, and peace becomes rare. I see hardened hearts, disunited families, lost children without direction. I see many who no longer know who they are, nor where they are going, because they have strayed from the source of true light. Chaos does not begin in wars or crises. It is born within the heart when God is set aside. Therefore, I call upon you insistently, do not follow this path. Do not accept as normal that which destroys the soul. Do not allow error to become a habit, nor darkness to become comfortable. Be vigilant, for evil infiltrates subtly, disguised as false freedoms and empty promises. When you come to me, I teach you to remain steadfast. I lead you by the hand in moments when you feel weak. I show you that true strength lies not in violence, nor in domination, but in persevering faith, humility, and trust in God. A heart that trusts does not get lost, even when everything around seems to crumble. My children, do not let yourselves be dominated by fear. Fear paralyzes and blinds. Faith, on the contrary, illuminates and strengthens. Those who trust in God weather the storm without losing hope. Even amidst chaos, the sky remains open for those who seek refuge in the Lord. It is time to awaken, time to reconsider choices, to abandon paths that lead to destruction, to restore spiritual life. Do not postpone conversion. Do not wait for the suffering to be greater to return. Today is the favorable time to change, to choose the light, to strengthen faith. I am with you, my children, covering you with my maternal mantle. I intercede for you. I walk beside you and always lead you to God. Saint Michael fights, heaven protects, but you are called to collaborate with grace, living in truth, love, and fidelity. Remain with me. Do not stray. Even if the world heads towards chaos, those who remain in God are not lost. Darkness may spread, but it will never overcome the light that is born from a faithful heart. Walk in faith and you will be sustained until the end. Time is precious and passes faster than you imagine. Many live as if there were always a tomorrow, but they forget that each day is a grace that may not be repeated. When I ask you to pray the Hail Mary, it is not just for repeated words, but because you place your filial trust in it. Each Hail Mary prayed with the heart opens a glimmer of light in the darkness, calms the restless soul, and strengthens the weakened spirit. It is the simple dialogue of the child who calls upon his mother and allows himself to be led. Seek the Eucharist, my children, for there is my Son, alive, real, and present. Many have distanced themselves from this sacred food and, therefore, have become weak, confused, and empty. Without the Eucharist, the soul loses strength to resist evil. With it, the heart is strengthened, faith is renewed, and hope remains burning even in the most difficult times. I call you to sincere conversion, not superficial conversion. To convert is to change course, to abandon sin, to break with habits that wound the soul and distance us from God. Conversion is choosing the light even when darkness seems easier, It is saying yes to God's will and no to that which destroys the inner self. Do not wait for time to run out to return. Do not wait for harsher signs, nor greater pain, nor irreparable losses. The call is now. Today you are still invited to begin again, to ask for forgiveness, to restore your spiritual life. Tomorrow may be too late for many, not because God closes the doors, but because hearts become hard and insensitive. I see many children postponing change, trapped by pride, fear, or the false idea that it is not yet the right time. But I tell you as a mother, the time is now. Heaven calls now. Grace is available now. Whoever responds today finds mercy. Whoever postpones risks losing themselves in their own indifference. My children, the world is living through a time of confusion and estrangement from God. Therefore, pray more, seek more, love more. Do not live a cold or distant faith. Live a living, committed, true faith. A heart that prays, that seeks the Eucharist, and that is sincerely converted, and it becomes a light in the midst of darkness. I am with you, calling you with patience and firmness. Do not despise this call. There is still time, but it is not infinite. Return while you can. Strengthen your faith while there is light. Choose God while your hearts still hear His voice.